It's R&R in the morning here on San Antonio Sports Star. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I don't know if you noticed over the weekend, but Shark Week began. My favorite week of the year. We're joined by Forrest Galante. Forrest is the co-founder of the Phantasticus Pictures. He's got a special coming up on Discovery tomorrow night. It premieres on at 7 o'clock here on the Discovery and Discovery Plus. I'd like to welcome on the show Forrest Galante. Welcome on, man. Glad to have you.
Guys, thanks for having me. This is exciting. Shark Week.
Absolutely.
All right, so I grew up in the early 70s, and I used to watch Saturday Night Live, and they used to have a skit on there called Land Shark. Land Shark would knock on the door and come attack you in your apartment. I didn't think that was actually going to happen, but evidently it's possible, especially if you have an apartment in Papua New Guinea. Tell us about your show.
Yeah, it's time to lock up your kids, guys. The shark's coming to catch you. No, listen, in Papua New Guinea, which is an incredibly difficult location to operate in, it's got a violent history. It's geographically isolated. It's very treacherous. There are 3 species of walking cat shark, which are these 2-foot-long, beautiful little sharks that have incredible markings that over millions of years have evolved specialized pectoral and pelvic fins that give them the ability to actually walk along the sea floor. Now, you might say that's not that exciting. Big deal, sharks can walk on the... But here's where it gets exciting. There are reports from locals in Papua New Guinea that these 3 species of shark actually use that ability to leave the ocean and walk up onto land and into tide pools to hunt for small fish and crustaceans. So my team and I head to Papua New Guinea to see if we can capture this never-before-filmed behavior on camera and confirm it scientifically, which, it's just an incredible adventure. I mean, it's just so exciting. It's a remote, unique place. Really proud of it.
So I guess we're going to find out, tomorrow, but how long because what I was talking about before you came on for us was, well, hey, humans, there's some humans that can go underwater for 4 minutes. How long can these sharks last on land before they got to get back to the water? I guess we'll find that out Wednesday.
That's a good question. And my team and I aren't willing to sort of jeopardize a shark to get to the bottom of that experiment, right? To sit there and go, he died.
Oh.
But what I can tell you is it's kind of like a free diver, like you just said. It's like the shark takes a big breath, they come up on the land, and I think they sort of rummage around looking for the next spot. Now, here's what's really interesting. Because these sharks do this behavior, they're such resilient, tough little things, right? They have just sort of overcome the difficult anoxic, low oxygen environments. They're very, very used to a large temperature shift. So they're just really hardy little animals. And I mean, the fact that a shark can come up onto land and survive for even a couple minutes is amazing.
It absolutely is. We're joined by Forrest Galante. He's the co-founder of Phantasticus Pictures, has a show on Discovery coming up, premiering on the 27th at 7 o'clock on Discovery and Discovery Plus as we delve into Shark Week. Now, I'm really curious, Forrest, how do you get into the job that you have? An international wildlife conservationist who have also discovered several species that were thought to be extinct, including the Zanzibar leopard, which might be the coolest name of any big cat I've ever heard, and the female Fernandina island tortoise. Dude, how did you get to do what you do?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm a nut. Right? Like, I'm an absolute nut. I've only ever had interest in one thing, and that is wildlife. You remember when you're a kid, guys, you flip over a log, you see an earthworm, you're like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing in the world, right? Well, most people grow out of that. I grew worse. I wanted to know what it ate, what ate it, what was in its environment, what was in its habitat. So I spent my life pursuing wildlife knowledge and understanding, both from an observational standpoint, and I went to school and got a good degree and all of that. And then about almost 10 years ago now, I saw a TV show that I was in, which was just happened to be a survival show that I did for the fun of it, just to give it a try as a vacation from my much harder job as a wildlife biologist.
So, what do you mean a survival show? Like a Bear Grylls kind of thing? Like you went out in the middle of nowhere?
No, I made worse than that. I did Naked and Afraid. So I threw
You did
myself
Naked and
into the
Afraid?
jungle butt naked for 21 days. I did.
You're getting more awesome by the
I did
second
really
here.
well. I thought it.
I didn't know that.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was easy. And when I got back and I saw the ratings, I saw 4 million people saw me, jiggle my junk around on TV. I was like, well, I better start jiggling a different kind of snake around if I want to make a difference.
You the man.
Hey, Forrest, I'm sure there's been a few, right? I'm sure there's been quite a few, but give me one time where you were like, damn, this is it.
Cashed in.
This is it. I'm gone. I'm out of here. It was a great ride.
Man, I mean, there have been a few.
There's got to have been a few in your line of work.
Years ago, guys, I've been in 2 plane crashes. I've been mauled by a lion, stung by a man-o-war jellyfish, bitten by a venomous snake. I got 2 shark bite scars that I'm rocking right now. It's there's been a couple, but a few years ago we were tracking lions in southern Africa, and we came around this corner, and there was this big black rhino upwind of us, about 15 feet away, and he hadn't seen us, and we hadn't seen him, and we just froze. And the rhino sort of charged at us, and about 6 feet in front of my cameraman, he decided to turn and head the other direction. But it was, I thought we were done right then. I was like, he's coming at us. We've got a big problem here. There's nothing you can do to outrun a rhino. So I thought we were done right there.
Forrest Galante joining us here on San Antonio Sports Star. His show premieres July the 27th on Discovery and Discovery Plus, shot in Papua New Guinea. We're going to find out if there's walking sharks amongst us. They're out there. He's out there proving it. Co-founder of Phantasticus Pictures has been naked and afraid as well out in the middle of the jungle. There's so many questions.
How many minutes do you have with the venomous snake before you like what happened there?
So I was younger and I got tagged, and so I used to live in Zimbabwe in southern Africa, and I got tagged by a little venomous snake called a rhombic night adder. And so I was a real dork. I had my little pen and my little notepad and pen, and I circled the bite, and I wrote on my arm the name of the animal that bit me, and I got on my little 50cc motorbike and drove as fast as I could back to the house to get my mom for help. And I just sort of remember my vision tunneling as I was driving as fast as I could. And apparently I wiped out. A couple people saw me. They went and grabbed my mom. And they rushed me to the hospital, but because I'd written the name of the snake and circled it on my arm, the doctors knew what to do. And I woke up the next day in the hospital.
Your mom
took him to the.
Your mom was with you in Zimbabwe?
Yeah.
You are the coolest guy I know. Forrest Galante joining us. Anytime you can start a story. A few years ago, I was tracking lions. Then it doesn't matter what comes out next.
Right.
It does. Make sure you catch the show. It is Shark Week. He is Forrest Galante. The show comes. What's the title of the show, by the way? What's the name of the Island of Walking Sharks?
The one I have on Wednesday. Island of the Walking Sharks.
Island of the Watching Sharks shows the international wildlife conservationist joining us right here, Forrest Galante, as we head to Papua New Guinea to find out if the sharks are indeed walking. Hey, man, it's a pleasure talking to you. We're excited down here. We're going to be watching it. Thanks for the adventures and letting us live vicariously. He's Forrest Galante right here on San Antonio Sports Time. Thanks for stopping by, man. He is Forrest Galante. Make sure you're checking him out on Discovery and Discovery Plus. There are walking sharks amongst us, and he's been bitten by a snake that could have killed most humans.
But see, he had the wherewithal to know. He knew what snake. It's a lot to that.
I would have cut it up with my penknife and sucked the poison out and spit it on the ground. That's what I would have seen.
Died right there.
R&R in the Morning continues here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM and AM 1250.